In 2018, the National Music Museum in Vermilion closed its doors for an expansion and renovation project.
Now the museum is getting closer to welcoming back visitors to show off its collections, artifacts, and more.
In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Sarah McDonald takes us on a tour of the museum.
Vermilion is home to the National Music Museum. It was founded in 1973 and located in the Carnegie Hall on UST's campus.
Since that time, the museum has grown its collection manyfold. It was about 2,600 objects when we first started, and under the first director, it grew to almost 15,000, bringing in instruments from around the world.
Michael Sewing is the interim director of the National Music Museum. He says a project like this has been a goal for many years.
Since its inception, board members have realized we have all of these great instruments which each have great stories to tell. How can we tell more of those? And in part, having a larger footprint and more gallery space dedicated to doing that has been a priority of the Board of Trustees and the University of South Dakota since the late 70s.
In 2018, it finally became a reality.
We began moving the instruments out, which was not an easy task. Each instrument had to be placed back in its original case, or a case had to be created for it to keep it safe while we were moving it to our Center for Preservation and Research.
In the spring of 2019 then, we broke ground for the expansion of the museum, which is now the Lillibridge wing, which includes the Wanzek Performance Hall, which is behind me here, and then the Groves Temporary Exhibit Gallery.
Additionally, the Lillibridge wing includes office space on the second floor, as well as a conservation lab.
Any of the needs that we have for our collection here can be met in this facility.
The project also includes renovating the Carnegie Library. The museum has been working with an exhibit design partner in Chicago to help put together the galleries, breaking them up into different neighborhoods.
In the first neighborhood, we'll be talking about musical instruments and the role they play in our lives, looking at personal expression and communal expression. In the second neighborhood, we'll look at the innovation of musical instruments and how over time, either by demands placed on the instrument makers by musicians or themselves pushing their own creative process.
A third neighborhood will consist of instruments as art and craft.
So we'll be looking at surface decoration and carving and the materials that go into instruments and how over time that has changed in response to technological advances or different access to materials.
There is still plenty of work that needs to be done, but there are plans to welcome people back this fall.
We can hardly wait to throw open the doors and welcome everyone back into the facility. You know, COVID had put a damper on that, but we are rolling now.
A project both Sewing and Robertson are excited to eventually share with everyone.
It's given us the opportunity to step back, take a look at our collections, and see how we can relate to everyone with the things that we have, regardless of your starting point. If you are an instrument player, maker, or lover, you'll find something to connect with here in this new museum.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Sarah McDonald.
Museum officials say they appreciate the support from donors and advocates on this project. Programming at the museum will run through the academic school year this fall. A temporary exhibition will be open in October and then run through December. Right now, the plan is to have a grand opening in 2023, which is when the museum will celebrate 50 years.